I'm going to give you some really practical strategies about what to do when your partner yells at you. G'day, I'm Anna Cheney. I live in Sydney, Australia. I've been in a number of abusive relationships and now I'm not anymore, hooray! But when I was in those abusive relationships, I had a lot of times where I did not know what to do, and I wished that I had someone explain to me, what do you do in this situation? By the end of this video, you'll have some really good ideas about what to do the next time it happens. Please join me on my journey as I reach 1 million subscribers. I make these videos because I really want to empower women, especially women who have anxiety, like me, to live the best life that you can possibly live. The first thing I want to do is just explain what happens to you when someone yells at you. So I worked as a nurse for many years. I've got a medical background and I also am a yoga teacher, so I understand a lot about the physiology and the structures and the ways that our bodies work, chemically, hormonally, physiologically. And one of the things that I want to explain to you just simply is that our brains work so fast. And when you look at somebody else's face, in a fraction of a second, you take in their facial expression and your body responds accordingly. So if you walk into a shop and someone smiles at you, your body has instantly reacted to that. If you see someone coming around the corner and they look scared or frightened or they're crying or something, your body reacts to that. If you're having a conversation with, say, your partner and you notice that it goes from sort of neutral, you're just chatting, and all of a sudden their facial expression changes, within that split second, your body has reacted. So if you're in a relationship with somebody that you know can sometimes fly off the handle, it only takes a microsecond for their facial expression to trigger your hormonal changes. And by hormonal, I mean hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which are your stress hormones, and they go up through the ceiling and all of a sudden you are stressed. For me, in my relationships where somebody has been yelling at me, and there's been a few relationships that I've had with abusive men, and when they're yelling at you, you feel like you need to calm them down or you need to try to make the place in some way better. And I would suggest to you that you're not in a position to do that. The best thing you can do is to try to get away. That can be scary too. So for example, I was having a conversation with my ex-boyfriend and something shifted and I could see in his face that he was getting really angry and explosive, but it was kind of like the inner volcano. And I thought, oh, he's gonna tip. And then he started yelling and I was remaining very calm and really trying to maintain a calm demeanor, which I think sometimes makes it worse. And so I decided to get up and walk away, and he ran after me and yelled and screamed at me, and I ran into another room and shut the door. That kind of behaviour is really about control, because he wanted me to stay there with him and have me listen to him yelling at me. I didn't want to do that, so I left. It was hard to do, but I'm so glad I did it, because if I had stayed, he would have kept yelling at me. And who knows where that would have escalated to. The way that we are structured is that our bodies are set up for survival. So obviously, if you are in a forest and a grizzly bear comes around the corner, your body is set up for survival. So you either choose to fight that bear or run away. Obviously, the better choice for somebody my size would be to run away. But maybe if I had a whole lot of children with me and I knew that we couldn't run, maybe I would fight. Maybe I would pick something up and try to fight it. So the flood of adrenaline, what that does for your body is energizes all your muscles. So all of your large leg muscles and your extremities, so your arms and your fists and everything, become absolutely engaged and energized and ready to fight or ready to flee. That's why they call it fight or flight. In a situation where you're feeling threatened and you feel like you have to stay, you are absolutely full of adrenaline and ready to fight or flight, but your body is not able to think properly. All the blood has gone to your extremities, and the front section of your brain, which is called the prefrontal cortex, shuts down, and that is where all your problem solving happens. So you can't have a valid and healthy conversation with this person while you're flooded with adrenaline. It's kind of like if your house was burning down and I said to you, can we just have a conversation now about some financial goals for the next year? And you would say, I can't, fire. Because your body's in fight or flight. And that's what happens when somebody yells at you. Your body's going, danger, danger, you are not safe. Your body has read the facial expressions, it hears the volume in the voice, and that to you equals danger and you need to get out of there. I've heard people say in the past that what you need to do is create a calming environment and try to calm them down or try to speak softly. That's all very well. But the fact that you're watching this video would tell me that you've tried that before and it doesn't work. So my suggestion to you would be to get away. And I think that sometimes humans can be a lot like puppies, and I think it's like puppy training, where if you walk away every time they yell at you, they'll soon realise that yelling at you doesn't work. Whereas if they yell at you and you engage and say, well, I hear what you're saying, I am sorry that I did that, or whatever it is that they're accusing you of, or whatever the conversation is, they'll realise that they can do that again and that it works. And that's not what we want. We want them to realise that they yell at you, you walk away. Another thing you can do, which has worked for me, and once I was taught this method, I did try it with my ex-boyfriend and it worked quite well. When a man is yelling at you, one thing you can do is say, stop. The reason this works so well is because when a man is yelling at you, they have lost control. It's not about you anymore. They are feeling out of control and they are not able to any longer put their thoughts and their feelings into perspective. They have moved outside the realm of rational thinking. It is very much like they're in a childlike state. Stop, I don't like this. Stop, I don't want you to speak to me that way. Stop, I don't appreciate your tone of voice. Stop, I'll speak to you later. Stop, I need some time out. Stop, I don't like it when you speak like that. Stop, I will not accept being yelled at. Stop, there's no excuse for yelling. Stop, there's no reason to yell at me. Stop, there's no excuse for this behaviour. And the trick with this is for you to stop there too. So you've told them to stop. Don't explain yourself any further. Don't let them engage with you. They'll ask you questions. They'll say things like, why are you being so sensitive, or what's wrong with you, or any number of things. Don't answer them, don't engage, walk away. That's your time to walk away. If you say stop and they actually realise, catch themselves and go, oh my gosh, I'm yelling at my partner, I don't want to do that, and they catch themselves, then perhaps there's a chance to talk about it after that. But I would still suggest that you need a break. You need a section of time where you both have an opportunity for that adrenaline to reduce. And that might mean going for a walk, or even just going and sitting in your room for a little bit. If you're talking to someone, like your partner or something, and they have gone into fight or flight, you have lost your audience. If you try to explain to them why you did something, or even that you're sorry, or that there's a good reason for why you think that, or defend yourself, or anything like that, they will not be listening properly because their prefrontal cortex has shut down as well. So you have lost your audience. walk away, you can come back to it later. I think it's really healthy to get those large muscles in your legs moving. So even if you stand in your bedroom and stomp up and down, punch your pillow, or go for a walk around the block, all of that adrenaline that's ready to fire and ready to run like the wind is then used, and you will have a much better chance of getting your brain back into gear again. To summarise, the important steps are to recognise that you have gone into fight or flight and that you're not able to think properly, so it's not going to be a great conversation. You have lost your audience. The other thing is to use the word stop. And finally, them yelling at you is about them, it's not about you. You have every right to walk away. They are not in control anymore. You can walk away. Please leave a comment, click the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, and if you subscribe to my channel and click the little bell sign, you will be able to see the next video that I publish. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.